Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since, and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Camila is going to go for a 3-hour marathon time, being paced on the run by Darren Smith. There are quite a few other runners as well. They've just started. So the idea is this morning, I'm not going to be around I'm not going to be here standing commentating for 3 hours. I'm quite happy to let you guys watch Camila run. She's running on this strange contraption, which is essentially a running machine. So it's not one of those kind of pulling workout machines. What are they called? I can't remember what they're called now. But it is a running machine, which just is less impact on your legs. So that's what this is that she's running on. We've got heart rate and we've got cadence, so you can see what she's doing. and we're going to follow Camila all the way for 3 hours to see how well she can do with her sub 3 hour marathon attempt. At the moment on course, we've got Simon Funnell, who is one of the runners with the most amount of miles ever on Zwift, bettered only by Marcus Holmes. So Simon Funnell is a very experienced Zwift runner. Darren Smith is the run leader, and he is pacing Camila, and he is on an air runner, so a non-motorised air runner, also very experienced Zwifter. We've got Remy Jarige. Remy was involved a few weeks ago in my 100-mile run and ran to 50 miles with us. So we, what was it? Yeah, I think it was 50 miles with us. So we really appreciated that. So he is also a really experienced Zwift runner. D Stone, Stephen Smith under 15, Stephen Smith, not the other Stephen Smith. We've got two Steve Smiths on Zwift, well, two that I know of. And so this is our under 15 Stephen Smith, who is a regular runner on Zwift. So those are the people involved at the moment. We may have people joining, although it is a meetup, isn't it? So I don't know if you can join the meetup late. I'm not sure if you can join the meetup late or not. Good morning, Steve Milne. He says, good luck, Camila. Adam Holland says, you've got this. Stuart Gofford says, good luck, Camila. And Tarinta Rosa, I'm imagining that's a relative of Camila, on YouTube. Hello to you. Dan Knapp says, good luck, sub 3, here we go. So yeah, if you're wondering, I can't tell you an awful lot about the machine that Camila is running on, but I do know that it is a running machine for to reduce the impact in your legs. So that's what Camila's running on. It's not one of those machines that you get at the gym, those step machines. It's not one of those. Darren Smith says, I don't think you can join late. So, okay, so you can't join late. So the people who are here are the people who are here. And no doubt, unless some of them are going for a sub 3 marathon as well, they will drop off in time as we carry on. So they'll just go as far as they can, and eventually we will just be left with Camila and Darren to see it home. Like I said, I'm not gonna stay around for the. I'm gonna pop out, back, and in. I've got things to do in the house, so I'm gonna pop out, back to the house, and then back out again to see how Camila's getting on. I'm not gonna stay here commentating for the full 3 hours, just kind of on and off for 3 hours. It's called, okay, so Darren Smith says it's called a zero runner. And what I might do is have a look on the internet and bring up some information about a zero runner for you. So that's what Camila is running on. It's called a zero runner. Give me a couple of minutes and I'm going to have a look on the internet and find out some more about the zero runner. And TV Guy AU says an elliptical trainer might be what you're thinking of. Yes, exactly. So for this, what Camila's running on is not an elliptical trainer. It's a zero runner. So the elliptical trainers are things that you will see in the gym. And it's not that. That's not what Camila's using today. Camera angles on, so it's different news. Camila's heart rate, I'm already seeing, is very high. Whether that's normal for Camila, I don't know, but it's 172 BPM. And she was in the red zone a minute ago, so I'm imagining that that's not correct. Either her zones are not correct, or her heart rate is not correct. If her heart rate is correct, then her zones are wrong, because you wouldn't run a marathon in zones 4 and top of zone 4, zone 5. But you might be quite well into zone 4. But if I was running a marathon, I would want to be in zone 3, certainly in the early part. So there's something not quite right about the heart rate display we've got there. It may well be that 171 is perfectly normal for Camila this time in a marathon. But if so, she's definitely not zone 5. And if she is zone 5, then she's not going to keep this up. full marathon. TV guy says nothing worse than a heart rate spike at the start. Well, yes, it could be a heart rate spike, I suppose. We are 1.5 kilometres in. You would hope that it is a heart rate spike, that it will come down very soon. Bex Wensley also has a zero runner, apparently. It mimics running with no impact. So there we go. It mimics running with no impact. I am just going to go and have a look now and bring up some. If I can bring up some information on screen, I will do. Something podcast that you can go and listen to if you are interested in zero running. There's a podcast you can go and listen to, and if you type in "is the zero runner the same as running?" episode 150. Website is runnersconnect.net. Runnersconnect.net. It is a hybrid between a treadmill and an elliptical. The Zero Runner was designed to provide a true running experience with zero impact. And then it says, in today's podcast, Coach Sinead explains the science behind this up-and-coming technology, whether it's worth the money or not. So if you want to listen to a podcast about the Zero Runner, go to Runners Connect or just search for episode 150. Is the Zero Runner the same as running? If you're interested in finding out a bit more about the Zero Runner. If you want to buy a Zero Runner, there's an advert there, but hang on a minute, let's have a look, see how much it costs. How much is a Zero Runner? Now, the Octane Zero Runner is UK price £2,500, so £2,500 UK. That's about $4,000 US. If you want to go and buy yourself a Zero Runner. Stephen Smith, good morning. Karen Smith says it. She's on TV, so it's made her heart rate go up. I want her to completely ignore the fact that she's on camera. Just concentrate on doing her job. Lindsay Davis says good morning. Go have a fantastic run, Camilla, and good luck. I'm feeling very, very lazy indeed. I was going to run 5k, but I decided against it. I have my half tomorrow, so I'm actually going to rest today. But I am eating cookies and drinking coffee. So cheers everyone, good morning to the UK. Now 2.5 kilometres in 10 minutes, 25 seconds long. The lady's going 14.1 kilometres per hour. Probably will need to speed up a little bit towards mid-half marathon. 14.1 is like the speed that you need to go to marathon pace under 3 hours. Do a marathon. absolutely safe. Sure, Darren has a plan. They're currently 4 minutes 15 per kilometre. Buenaventura, good morning to you. Oh my goodness, Darren Smith says it's 4 a.m. where he is. Yeah, Darren says he appreciates the music. He might not appreciate it after it's been going round for 3 hours. I think it's about an hour and 15 minutes worth of music, so you have it at least twice. Hope you don't mind. Might be okay, might be a little bit brighter there. Heart rate is still high. Maybe that's just how Camila runs. Maybe her heart rate is always that high, and she can keep that level heart rate for the full marathon. Let's hope so. My mic is too quiet, the voice is too loud. It's too loud. Says Tina. Okay, hold on. Let me just increase the volume of my mic and bring the music down a tad. Hold on. Oh, that's making it too loud. Too quiet. How's that? Is that any better? Now is the music too quiet? Just let me know. Like I say, I'm not going to be here talking all the time. I have a few other little bits and bobs I need to. I've been instructed by my wife that I must tidy the kitchen this morning, so I am going to go and spend some time doing that. But I will be in and out. Right, Tina says that's better. Okay, good. Still haven't activated Windows on my laptop there. You can notice the little sign in the bottom right hand corner. Activate Windows. I need to find one of my Windows keys somewhere so I can type the number in. I've got about 15 of them lying around somewhere, but I need to sort that out. She looks good though, doesn't she? Looks comfortable, strong. Now, Tina's just said almost the opposite. That zero run looks hard work to me. Yeah, I know what you mean. It looks like she's got a very long stride length on it. Okay, Paul Deering has some excellent advice. Paul says, do house chores badly and you will never be asked again. Debbie is currently doing her own housework. Well, I've got that off to a pat with shopping. So food shopping, supermarket shopping. I'm never allowed to go because I always buy the wrong thing. I always do it really badly. And so I never have to go food shopping with Victoria. She's quite happy to. And it also gives her some time on her own away from us lot annoying her. So she's quite happy to go and do food shopping on her own. Cooking is another thing I generally get away with. I'm not a great cook, but that doesn't mean I couldn't try and couldn't be better at it. But I generally leave the cooking to my wife as well. House cleaning, house tidying, I'm not too bad at, and actually don't mind occasionally. I don't mind tidying up. I like the feeling of it looking better when I've finished. So I don't kind of mind doing house tidying, although both Victoria and I are still not very good at it. Tina Beard says, my husband has already mastered that method. Well, I think I've mastered it in certain respects. I'm not a complete idiot. I have mastered the getting out of doing certain things role of a husband. Just I don't do it all the time. So I have said I will go and try and tidy the kitchen in a minute. Paul Deering says he didn't realise Debbie was listening to the stream upstairs. He thinks he's just been rumbled. Right, expect a call to handle the Hoover at any second now. Okay, they are now up to 14.2 kilometres per hour. Coming up to 4.5. They're 4.2 kilometres in. All still together. Oh, Stephen Smith just off the back, actually. Stephen Smith is 3 minutes back. So he's taking it a little bit easier. But Simon Funnell, Remy, I don't know D Stone. Who is D Stone? Do I know? I'm sure maybe I should. Oh, I can't see him on the app. Sorry, D Stone, if you're listening. I can't picture you at the moment. I'm sure somebody will remind me. Darren says, good job. So yeah, they're all still together. Steady pace. And they will be approaching 5 kilometres in the next couple of minutes. Darren says right where we need to be, but it is very early in the run. Remember, it's a full marathon and they're going for a sub 3 hour marathon, trying to get Camila Rosa under 3 hours for the marathon using her Zero Runner. If you want any advice or information about a Zero Runner, it's not an elliptical trainer, but it's also not a treadmill. Go and search up Zero Runner on Google and you'll find lots of information about it. You want to buy one, they're about £2,500 UK pounds, which is around about $4,000 US dollars. Buenaventura has just literally asked that. It is called a Zero Runner, Buenaventura, and it's a running machine which is designed for no impact. So it's not the same as those elliptical trainers that you find in the gym. It is in between those. It's half elliptical, half treadmill. It's supposed to mimic running, but with no impact. But go and research it on the internet. Just type in Zero Runner. Stephen Smith says the pace is too fast for me, so just going at my own pace and having fun. No worries, Stephen. You enjoy it. Good job. Debbie, right? The debate about women doing the housework and men doing it deliberately badly has taken an ugly turn. Debbie says clearly they've seen us two coming. Talking about Tina Beard as well. Same in my house, Debbie, he says. Right, Victoria says Stephen isn't allowed anywhere near the washing machine as that's always an expensive disaster with shrunken clothes and whites coming out pink. How rude! I've never done that. Well, maybe once or twice, and it definitely wasn't deliberate, or maybe it was. Who can say? See, we men aren't so daft, you know. We know how to get out of hard work. Peter Barlow says, good luck, guys. Okay, so I am one step ahead of Tina Beard's husband Alan because I do actually know how to turn on the washing machine, and that's the dangerous thing for Victoria because if I wanted to do some washing, technically I actually could turn on the washing machine, which could be a disaster for everyone. At least Tina Beard has the satisfaction of knowing her husband can't ruin any clothes because he doesn't even know how to turn the washing machine on. Darren Smith says, settle into a good rhythm. So yeah, about now, 5 kilometres in, generally you're warmed up, your breathing should have settled a little bit by now, and you can start to think about easing into a rhythm which you will maintain now for the next 2.5 hours. At least the next 2 hours, and then after 2 hours you can either speed up if you can, or maintain again, or if you're really tired you would have to slow down. But for the next 2 hours at least, this should be steady, comfortable pace with normally for me heart rate around zone 3, which would be about 155, 160. Camilla's is a little higher than that, but that may be because she's on TV, says Darren. But that just may be the way Camilla's heart functions. That's the way she runs. Amy says, great work, Amy. Good morning. Well done on your run this morning, Amy. Amy took part. This is Amy Green on Facebook. Took part in the last of the Zwift Running League relay races this morning at 7 a.m. UK time, and I think she got a PB. So well done to Amy. Good work. The Zwift Running League races are spread out in different time zones. If you don't know about the Zwift Running League, time zones from around about mid-morning on Friday is the first run, and then the last run is 7 a.m. on Saturday. Victoria says, I'm intrigued how Camilla can maintain her rhythm when drinking or refueling. She seems to be able to take her hands off the bars fairly comfortably, I think. Look, she's typing there, look, or she's doing something on the screen. I think the bars must be well, I suppose if they are for balance, then they're for balance, aren't they? So if you take your hands off, you might not balance. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's one of those machines where you just have to get used to how it feels, and you get, the more you run on it, like a treadmill, in fact, the more you run on it, the more comfortable you get running on it. We've had a lot of people who have recently transitioned from their old terrible treadmill to a lovely new Noble Pro or Soul Smart treadmill, and what they're finding is it feels initially much harder. and it's just getting used to a new treadmill, getting used to running on a different machine, and perhaps a machine that is more powerful, and maybe the motor doesn't slow down as much when you impact on the treadmill belt, and it feels different, and when you're not used to it, it therefore feels harder. But as you get used to it, whatever machine you're on, it should be better. Vidar Sorensen, hello buddy, says go Camilla. David Stone is the D Stone. Dave Stone. Darren's had to stop to tie his shoelaces. He says, my wife normally ties my shoelaces, but she's asleep. Right, Bob de Boer, very important information from Bob. He says, good luck, Camilla. I'm going to support you by doing sub 3 hour sunbathing today. Yeah, it is beautiful here. And I imagine the weather is similar on the continent over in Europe. We are Europe. It's a very strange concept, actually. In the US, people talk about Europe, and when they talk about Europe, they kind of include the UK in like the whole of Europe, and we are in Europe. Even though politically we've left. But quite often, in the UK, we talk about going over to the European continent. So when we talk about Europe, we kind of talk about across the channel. Anyway, over in Germany, where Bob de Boer is, I imagine it sounds like it's sunny there as well. Bo's in Switzerland, is he? Well, Switzerland, Germany, they're very near each other. Anyway, he's going to be doing sub 3 hour sunbathing today in support of Camilla. And they are approaching 7 kilometres now, 6.7 kilometres in, 6.8. They are on pace, 14.2 kilometres per hour. So targets are basically you want to see them hit 10k. Should be let me work it out now exactly. Actually, the maths has just gone out of my head. Bear with me. Oh yeah, Bob confirms he is in Switzerland. Victoria is hanging the washing out, and she's just shouted into the tent, to the shed, that she pays attention to these things. Right, Bob having a go at me because I said that Germany and Switzerland are very close. So Bob says, yeah, like I call you Irish. Yeah, point taken, Bob. Understood. I just love Switzerland, though. I've been to Switzerland a few times, and what a beautiful country. Yeah, Victoria just reminded me we didn't like the prices at the airport, though. We've landed in Geneva a few times. I've landed in Geneva a few times. We landed in Geneva last year or a couple of years ago to do the UTMB running festival in Chamonix, and the closest airport to Chamonix is in fact Geneva in Switzerland. You drive down past Lake Geneva to get to Chamonix. Tourist just reminded me our flight was delayed, so we were forced to buy food and drink in Geneva Airport, and it was extremely expensive. Right, they're past 7k, 7.3 kilometres now. Yes, prices. Bob says prices will go up in the UK as well. Well, yes, I agree with you. Vidar says, what happens after Tour of Watopia? Well, we still got... So Tour of Watopia finishes this week. Next week, we've got one more week of catch-up for Tour of Watopia, and then that is complete. There are some events coming up, but I can't talk about them just yet. Many of you may know that some of us have, some of the admin on the Facebook page, we have monthly meetings with, it used to be bi-weekly, but it's now monthly with Zwift HQ, and they do give us some heads up about some of the things that are coming up in the future. We don't get to know everything that's happening. There's a lot, well, the majority of stuff we don't know. They probably tell us 10% of the things that they know. So I do know there are a couple of events that are on the horizon that you need to keep your eyes out for, but I can't say anything about them just yet. Oh my goodness. Dave Stone says he only got 3 hours sleep. And for Darren Smith, it was when he started, it was 4 a.m. For him running, so that's fairly mad. What I'm very interested in is why they chose to run up Ventoux. You'll notice here we're running up the... I know they're not doing incline, but psychologically it's interesting because running uphill in Zwift, even though you're on the flat in real life on the treadmill, running uphill psychologically, I wonder whether that would make it harder. Just seeing yourself running up a hill. I don't want now. If you're running and you've not thought of that, and I've just popped that into your head, I do apologise, because now it will grate on you, won't it? And I'm sorry. However, yeah, interesting choice of routes to run uphill. But having said that, it is only 21 kilometres to the top of Ventoux. So for the second half of the run, it may well be that they're running down the hill, which then would be really good. And maybe that was the thought process. Stephen Smith says, I'm definitely pouring a bucket of freezing cold water over my head after this. Yeah, I've done that before as well after marathons. 8 kilometres in now, 14.2 kilometres per hour. Camilla's heart rate is 169 BPM, steps per minute is 179. Running at just about right pace. Zwift is a little bit odd from time to time. There's the distances and splits that you get can often be slightly off. So they do need to be careful. I have run many marathons now on treadmill on Zwift. I say many, probably 6 or 7 or 8. And every time, if it's a race, you'll cross the finish line of the race, and it will say 42.2, and then as soon as you cross the finish line, it will say 42.0, and you'll have to run an extra 200 meters to make absolutely sure that you complete 42.2 kilometers. Right, Buenaventura says cadence is not matching. It's it's steady at 179, isn't it? So it might be that that's just a standard output from the Zero Runner. You could, I guess, is the video clear enough to count? If you can count for 1 minute, you could tell. Just count her leg movements for 1 minute, and you'll be able to work out what her cadence is. Right, I'll stay here till 10 kilometers. So once they reach 10 kilometers, I'm going to go in the house and do a few things, and then I shall be back out. So I shall leave you guys to watch the stream, and I shall be back after a few minutes to update and see what's going on. All right, Buenaventura has already counted. Hey, what number did you get? I mean, it looks like it's fairly low because she's got quite a long stride length there. Michelle Marcondes on YouTube. Round of applause for Camila. Buenaventura, that probably sounds about right. Looking at her legs, that's probably about right. I would say, yeah. I wouldn't put too much into it. I think it's just probably an incorrect reading from the Zero Runner, unless it's a reading from a foot pod, and that could be even more incorrect. But yeah, if you look at her leg movements, it does look like a long stride length and a slow cadence, doesn't it? Nine kilometers in now, 42.2 kilometers per hour. So 42.2 kilometers per hour is about the right pace. However, when you look at the minutes per kilometer, 4:13 per kilometer, that should normally be about 4:16 per kilometer. So again, I think that's a Zwift thing. Zwift not quite measuring correctly, or something. Stephen Smith's heart rate is 154 BPM and his cadence is 181 steps per minute. Well done, Stephen. Keep it up. Keep it going. Let's just have a look at Simon Funnell's stats, because Simon Funnell second only to Marcus Holmes in the number of miles or kilometres he has run on Zwift. Let me just type his name. Let's see where he's up to. Okay, so Simon is on 12,136 kilometres before this run. So before he stepped on the treadmill today, Simon was on 12,136 kilometres run on Zwift. Now, if you want a comparison, I am on 7,000 or 8,000. Check. I'm on 7,043 kilometres. And as you know, I'm on Zwift a lot. So Simon Funnell has run 5,000 more kilometres, over 5,000 more kilometres on Zwift than me. And yet, Marcus Holmes has done even more than that. I don't know where I am on the list of all-time distance on Zwift. Certainly two people ahead of me, and I imagine there are others, because that would be a big gap of 5,000. There must be somebody else who's on, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, 11,000 kilometers on Zwift. There must be others. I just don't know who they are. If you've done more than 7,000 kilometers on Zwift, do let me know. These are the kind of stats, aren't they, that I think Zwift should have available. You should be able to see where you stand in how many, like the number of marathons you've done on Zwift, or the number of miles or kilometers you've covered on Zwift, and like there should be like leagues, like to see who's where, and that would be awesome, I think. Right, now look, Camilla's heart rate is coming down. 162, 163 BPM, so that's much more like I would expect it to be. 10 beats lower than it was earlier on. So maybe it was a spike for the first half an hour of the run. Okay, 42 minutes and we're about to hit 10 kilometers, so that's about right. So they want to hit 21 kilometers in 1.5 hours. So where are we? 9.9 kilometers, just about to hit 10k. 1/3 of the way through, 1/4 of the way through, nearly, in 42.5 minutes, which is absolutely perfect. So that gets them to 20 kilometers in 85 minutes, 1 hour 25, and then another kilometer in 4 minutes and 16 seconds. So they will be on pace and just under an hour and a half halfway, which is absolutely perfect. They just need to keep that going. Right. Amy says she's nearly at 2,000 kilometers. Okay, good stuff. But you only joined quite recently, didn't you? I mean, at the beginning of 2021, Amy. So you have done 2,000 miles in literally 4 or 5 months. That's amazing. Tina Beard, I'm on 2,050 in just under a year again. So you guys are it's not gonna be long before you guys overtake me. Wonder what I'm doing wrong. I'm on Zwift all the time. Why am I not clocking up the distance? I don't know. Maybe I just don't do very far when I run. Victoria says, how is Camila recording her heart rate? Was it just an anomaly rather than her actual heart rate? No, I think it may well have been that some people just get a spike at the beginning of runs. It may well be that Camila, for the first half an hour, that's what her heart rate does. And then it settles, and it looks like it's going up again a bit, but maybe it's normal for Camila's heart rate. Look, now it's back up to about 170 again. Odd. Maybe this is just what Camila's heart rate does. I mean, it is changing, so she is using a heart rate monitor, and if she's using a chest strap, then it's almost certainly correct. But who knows? Right, I said I was going to go away when they reach 10 kilometers, so I am going to do that now. I'm going to go and do a few things in the house. I will leave you guys to watch Camila. Keep me updated. I will be back in a few minutes' time to see what's going on. If you have questions, do put them in the chat and I will get to them when I come back. Still got coffee to finish, so cheers everybody. Okay, I'm just going to go and I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. I've done my duty. I've done the washing up. I've done a little bit of tidying. And we're back watching Camila Rosa on her zero running, attempting to run a sub-3 marathon. They are approaching 18 kilometers, so not too far to go to halfway. Camila's heart rate is 166, so it's stable at the top of zone 4, which is probably about right for this point in the run. The middle to the top of zone 4. Grace says, "Oh, you got Camila on camera." Yeah. We connected and made sure that we got Camila on camera so that we could watch her running. Very interesting to watch her using the zero runner. Looks lovely and sunny now where she is. TV guy says, "Stop with the teasers of what's coming up on Zwift." Yeah. Okay. I won't say anything else. So they are climbing the virtual Ventoux route, which I thought earlier on was a bit of an odd decision because psychologically, even though you're running flat on a treadmill, as there are other runners running with Camila here on Zwift, and although you're running flat on the treadmill, it's odd because psychologically running uphill might make it feel more difficult. But as it is, of course, they're getting to the top after 21 kilometers because the top of Ventoux is 21k up. And then they'll turn around and they'll come, I assume, they'll turn around and come back down again because there isn't any other way down. There's only one way. So they'll turn around, and for the second half of the run, they will be running downhill. Amy says she's doing amazing. Thank you for the update. I have had the stream on actually in the house and was just checking it out. I noticed a couple of odd things about the text that I've just changed on the screen, so that's useful. It's always useful to watch your own stream back, I think, just to see how it looks to people actually watching, and also to look for mistakes in the presentation. So you see where it says Zoom video there in the bottom right. At one point I had my face with Zoom video on it, so I had to change that. But just little things sometimes you notice. So they are about 2 kilometers from the top of Ventoux now. Although I don't think anyone is actually running. No one's actually running incline. Although Camila's pacer, who is Darren Smith, is running on a non-motorised curved treadmill, and that feels like you're running uphill all the time anyway. It's 30% harder on Darren's treadmill than it is on a standard motorised treadmill. So he kind of is running uphill anyway. Darren is in the USA, and it is very early in the morning there. He started running at 4 a.m, so it's only just after 5 a.m, 20 past 5 in the morning, where Darren is. So he'll have run a marathon and completed a marathon by 7 a.m, which is very nice for him. Tina Beard is off out for a picnic with friends. All the best, Camila. You're doing brilliantly, she says. Oh, do you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to make myself another cup of coffee and bring it out. I'll have to nip back in a second and make myself another coffee. If you've just joined the stream, welcome along. My name's Stephen. I'm a regular Zwift broadcaster, and we thought we would live stream this attempt by one of our regular runners here on Zwift, Camila Rosa from Brazil. She's attempting to run a sub-3 marathon using a zero runner, which is not an elliptical trainer and it's not a treadmill. It's kind of halfway between the two. It's a running machine designed to reduce the impact on your legs and your muscles and your bones when you're running. So that's what Camila is using. They are around about $2,500 UK pounds, about 4,000 US dollars, maybe 5,000 US dollars if you get a really good one. Do go and look them up. They're very interesting. Zero Runner is what you want to search for on Google. This is a point really where you're approaching halfway, so you've still got over 21 kilometers to do, but you are now starting to feel a little bit of that fatigue. You are starting to you know that you're in a run, especially doing a sub 3 marathon. They've got 2 kilometers to go to halfway. You still need to try and maintain as low a heart rate as you can. Still, you need to try and feel comfortable, but you can feel that pressure building, that tension. You just need to kind of relax as much as you possibly can into the run. Stephen Smith, under 15 from the UK, he's 11 minutes back now. He's just chilled out and relaxed. And Remy Jarige, who had been keeping pace, has also now slowed right down and is off the back. Dave Stone is still there, just 16 seconds back from Camila, but we still have Simon Funnell and Darren Smith leading the way, keeping Camila on pace as we go up Ventoux. This is the virtual representation of Ventoux, which is one of the Tour de France climbs, which has been replicated here on Zwift. Oh gosh, that's an awfully long name. Unrivaled Super Hottie on Twitch. Hello there. Says it looks easy. Is that mostly working the cardio system? To be honest with you, I don't know. It must be working the muscles in the legs to pull the machine back. But having never used one, I can honestly say I don't know. But go and read up on the science of it. I looked up a couple of pages earlier on, and it is supposed to mimic running just with no impact. So let me just have another little look and see if I can read any more about what it does. Bear with me. Okay, the Zero Runner does have customizable resistance. So while there isn't any incline option on the Zero Runner, you can customize the resistance, so you can either decrease it and focus more on sprinting or activating your backside, or you can increase it to focus more on strength work. So I'm just reading something off a blog here. It has no motor, so it's very quiet. It says it's really good for perfecting your gait and making sure your gait is remaining efficient even when you're tired. It simulates the same basic motion that you would get in running. You are also getting a very similar aerobic workout from it. So while it might be low impact, it is not low effort by any means. I will say that a lot of runners, I'm reading this, so a lot of runners report that after getting off the Zero Runner, they feel a lot of soreness in their core and a lot of soreness in their hamstrings and glutes. So it is more similar to an elliptical in that way. I would say without using the Zero Runner, it's a great way to... I would say without using the Zero Runner is a great way to supplement your training. Don't quite follow that sentence. I wouldn't necessarily replace a lot of your running with this. I think it is a better cross-training method and a nice way to even recover from an injury or get through an injury, because again, it is zero impact, so a great recovery tool. It's also a good alternative to running because you're getting a very similar aerobic workout. But so if you're preparing for a race, you do want to make sure that you do a lot of your running on solid ground in preparation for a solid ground race. Yes, I would imagine that would be sensible. So there you go. Just some more information about the Zero Runner for you. The unrivaled Super Hottie says, I have seen a system on the for the treadmill where you basically hang on ropes to reduce the weight and run with less weight. Yeah, that gravity-defying treadmills. I've seen those as well, yes. It says it looks a great cross-training tool. Yeah, I guess, and that's what we've just read on that blog there that I just looked up. So, they are approaching halfway, and they are approaching the top of Ventoux as well. Camila is just hanging on to the back of Simon Funnell and Darren Smith now as they approach the top of the Ventoux climb. So this is an 11% grade as they approach the top here. So they are, luckily, they're not mimicking incline, because that would be scary stuff. Not many people get to the top of this. So it's good to get up here and have a look at the view, although it's a bit cloudy at the top here. Keep it going, Camila. Halfway there, nearly halfway there. And the time is 1:27, nearly 1:28, so they are going to hit halfway in perfect time. Yeah, Alan Ashford says, looking good, Camila, nearly halfway. So there's the tower at the top of Ventoux, and there's a kind of circular route around the top, a little loop around the top, and then for the second half of the run they will be coming down the hill. You could post a link, but it won't come out as a link, unfortunately. But you're more than welcome to post it. Just be aware that people won't be able to click on it, but they could copy and paste it and type it into their browser, as long as you're not linking to porn, are you? Don't link to porn. We don't want that. But just you can put a link. It just won't come out as a clickable. Andres Castillo on Facebook says, amazing, Camila, go. Nice. Oh, have you tried to post a link and it's just come up with those stars? Sorry, maybe you can't post a link then. I thought if you posted a link, it comes up, but it just doesn't, you can't see it as a clickable link. But maybe it's not even that. Maybe you could just write it down. So write it as a comment without any dots or forward slashes or anything. So the sun is out in Brazil, where Camila is running. So Camila must have started very early as well, 4 a.m. in the USA when Darren Smith started running. What time it is with Camila in Brazil? Vai Camila, says Michelle Marcones. Must be nice now looking out onto the sunshine out of the window there. I guess when the sun comes up, it gives you a bit of a boost. Certainly on my long runs, when I run through the night, when the sun rises in the morning, it gives you a good big boost. Okay, Google Lever Running. So thank you for that. I still don't know how to pronounce your Twitch name. The Unrivaled Super Hottie says go and Google Lever Running. Pediatric Clinic on YouTube says good luck Camila. Clínica de Endocrinologia Pediatria. Pediatric Clinic in I'm guessing that must be in Brazil as well. Good luck Camila, they say. Right, we're over halfway now. We're at the top of Ventoux, running round, and we'll be heading down any second now. Simon Funnel has had a treadmill reset. That's annoying. We're talking about going to the toilet. Dave Stone says, I need to pee. Simon Funnel says, I told you to go before we left. He had a coffee 30 minutes before the start of the run. Oh dear. So Dave Stone's in trouble. So they're running round the top loop here of Ventoux, right at the top of the mountain. This is 1,600 metres up, or 1,600 metres into the sky. And they will start their way down shortly. But like I say, none of them are on incline anyway, so they're not feeling this incline. I think it must be quite an interesting psychological theory to climb up for the first 21 kilometres, the first half of the run, and then the second half of the run you are going downhill, and psychologically that might be quite an interesting thing to be looking at on the screen. Camila's heart rate is up to 172. Ignore the step per minute. I think we've worked out that's not right, because if you look at Camila's legs, her cadence is slower. That 179 has been static all the time. I think that's a static number that the Zero runner is transmitting. The actual cadence is closer to about 150. We think we've worked out. And there's the tower in the background as they start heading down the hill. .2 kilometers per hour is Camila's pace at the moment. They are over halfway, and they are at 1 hour 34 minutes. They're well over halfway. They've done another kilometre since, so they are bang on track. Buenaventura says, what am I having for lunch? Do you know, I haven't even thought about that yet. It's only 11:30 here in the UK. Are you out to sea now, Ace, or are you still in Great Yarmouth? Yeah, it's 11:35, and I haven't even thought about lunch yet. I've had 2 cups of coffee this morning, and that's it so far. I suppose I should eat something in preparation for tomorrow. I have a half marathon outdoors tomorrow, going to go for a PB, so I do need to be well fueled for that. Right, they're on the way down. 20 kilometers, less than 19 kilometers to go. Camila still looks relatively relaxed. You can see, that's very interesting with the shadows on her legs. Look at her muscles working. The shadows on her legs are really well defining the muscle effort when she pulls back with that left leg. Okay, Buenaventura is still in Great Yarmouth. He's self-isolating in a hotel before he goes out to join the oil rig in the North Sea. So now that the Zwift Running League races are all done for this week, we're just hanging on to see what the results are on them. I'm just going to check now in case they are available. Last week, I think it was about Monday or Tuesday before they actually were released. I'll just check now on the website and see if they have updated it. No, it doesn't look like it. Still only race 1 up there, so this is race week 2. Yesterday and early this morning was race day 2. So we haven't got any results just yet from the Zwift Running League. It isn't too late to get involved, by the way, in the Zwift Running League. If you want to join, you do need to be in a team. So it needs to be you and 2 or 3 other people. Maximum number of 4 people per team. Minimum number of 3 people per team. You can still join the Zwift Running League. You need to go to WTRL.racing. That's WTRL.racing and register your team. And then you can join every Friday. So here in the UK, our time zone is called Europe West, and we run at 7 PM each Friday. By the way, those steps there, I don't know if you can see those steps. Oh, we can't now. It's just those are to a monument for a cyclist who died at that exact spot in the real Ventoux during the Tour de France. Cycling up the hill and nearly at the top and had a heart attack at that point, and there is a monument there. You just see the steps there in the background and the monument to the runner to the cyclist that had a heart attack there. Forgive me, I can't remember his name, but I'm sure you guys will all know that, or you can look it up certainly. Amy says, I love how Zwift has everyone from all over the world and brings them together. Yes. So we have Darren Smith in the USA pacing Camila Rosa from Brazil, being commentated on by me in the UK. And we also have Remy Jarish from France running and Dave Stone in Canada. So truly worldwide. All we need is somebody from Australia to join, and we are global. Yeah, Zwift does do that. Zwift brings everyone together from all over the world, and it's fantastic we can do that. And it does, do you know what, again, psychologically, it does look easier to run down the hill in Zwift, even though you're running flat. When you are looking down the hill, it looks easier, it feels easier. Psychologically, that must have an effect. Camila is hanging onto the back of Simon Funnell, Dave Stone and Darren Smith. Steve Smith and Remy Jarige are off the back a bit, just chilling out now, relaxing. So I wonder how long Simon Funnell and Dave Stone will stay with Camila and Darren. Darren's going to pace to the end, I think. I don't know if Simon Funnell or Dave Stone will do. If you weren't here earlier, Simon Funnell, who is one of the runners here, he is second highest on the list of most kilometres covered on Zwift, with over 12,000 kilometres run on Zwift. By comparison, I'm on Zwift very regularly. I'm only on 7,000 kilometres, so there we are. Camila still going, still looking strong. Yes, Bonaventura. Well, that's what I was saying earlier on, that they chose to run up Ventoux, which I thought was a bit strange, because psychologically, when you see yourself running uphill, that would make it more difficult. However, it might be a cunning strategy that even though you are more tired in the second half of the run, because you're running downhill, it will feel like it's easier. We'll see how it goes. There is another hour and 15 minutes remaining before we see if Camila can make it to a sub-3 marathon running on the Zero Runner. Shadow just creeping across Camila's face now. Sunshine still on her torso and her legs, and the shadows well defining her muscle action in her legs there on the Zero Runner. Beautiful sunshine here in the UK. We're on the south coast of the UK here, and it's been gorgeous sunshine for the past 3 days, and it looks set to continue as well. I can't see on my weather map, my weather app, I can't see any rainy or cloudy days in the next 2 weeks. That's not to say it won't happen, but it's a good sign anyway. So 4 runners there on screen, running down the hill all together. 24.3 kilometres in, 1 hour 15 minutes left to run. Sorry, 1 hour 45 minutes left to run. No, what am I talking about? 1 hour 50. It is 1 hour 15 minutes. What am I talking about? I was right first time. Right, I'm just going to go make myself a coffee, and I shall be back in about 5 minutes time, 10 minutes time. Bear with me. Right, folks, how are we going? Susie, I run things. Go Camilla, she's so focused, says Susie. Hello, Susie, hope you're well. Adriana Pisa says, go Camilla. We are at 27 kilometres, 26.8 kilometres, approaching 27 kilometres. So we are 15 kilometres from home. 1 hour, 53 minutes gone. Still at 14.2 kilometres per hour. If you are looking to do a sub-3 marathon, you need to be running at 14.2 kilometres an hour or faster. So we are on target. The minutes per kilometre seems slow though. 4 minutes 13 per kilometre. It should be around 4 minutes 16 per kilometre, but that is possibly due to Zwift's very strange interpretation of splits a lot of the time. It's a bit odd. We don't have Camilla's splits because we're fan viewing. We're watching Camilla. The information on the left is if I was doing the run, and of course I'm just standing on the start line, so I haven't done any splits, and they are not showing up there. So we can't see Camilla's actual splits, but she's at 27 kilometres, 14.2 kilometres an hour. They went through halfway, 21.1, in just under 1 hour 30 minutes. So they're bang on track there. And the actual distance of this run, a marathon is 42.2. The actual distance of this run is 42.3 to get to the finish. So whether they're going to try and do that, whether they're going to try and get to the finish line in under 3 hours, excuse me, that's an extra 100 meters. So we will see. But right now, we are 5 minutes away from 2 hours. So we need to be over 28 kilometers at least to stand a chance. Running downhill in Zwift, but in real life they're obviously running flat. So it looks like Simon Funnell has called it a day. Okay, sorry guys, need to drop, he says. So Simon Funnell is out. Have a great run, he says. Well done, Simon. Great job, Simon. So Simon Funnell has added to his over 12,000 kilometres on Zwift with another 28 kilometres today, 27.5 kilometres. Well done to him. So they're gradually dropping off now. We've had Stephen Smith, under 15, is 15 minutes behind, taking it nice and easy. He's on 23.8 kilometres. Remy Jarige is 3 or 4 minutes back. He is on 26.6 kilometres and cruising. Simon Funnell has just stopped at 27.5. So we are left with Dave Stone from Canada and Darren Smith from the USA, both pacing Camilla, who's on camera here, to run sub-3 marathon on Zwift using her Zero Runner. Looks like a beautiful day over there in Brazil, where Camilla is. Camilla, well, in fact, all three of the runners who are still on course for this. Dave Stone in Canada, Camila in Brazil, and Darren in the USA all started very early in the morning. It was 10 a.m. here in the UK when they started, but of course over the Atlantic Ocean they're 5 or 6 hours behind, so it was 4 a.m. I guess for Darren when he started. I don't know what time it was for Camila or Dave Stone, but 4 a.m. for Darren. Buenaventura says, film my run was like a therapy during lockdown. Thanks, Stephen. No worries. He says, I've been looking back on your first 100-mile challenge. It was awesome during lockdown. It was something to do as well, wasn't it? It was. We were kind of lost for things to do during lockdown, and I think it was it May, last May or June? We did 100 miles on Zwift, just to do something different. So 100 miles on the treadmill, and then just a few weeks ago we did it again. And Remy, who's running today from France, he joined us for half of that, 50 miles for Remy. And Amy, who is commenting on Facebook today, she ran the whole 100 with us as well and did her first ever 100 miler and finished in under 24 hours. So amazing by everyone. So yeah, I mean, I agree with you guys. Zwift brings people together from all over the world and makes it fun and enjoyable and challenging to run on the treadmill. Michelle on YouTube, go Camila, applause. She's doing well, she's doing really well. 2 hours in now, we've hit 2 hours, 28.5 kilometers done. So they've been doing, the basic speed is 10 kilometers every 42 minutes. So they've got around 20 minutes to do... no, they've got 17 minutes to do 3.5 kilometers. So 3.5 kilometers, and then by 18 minutes past... so 2 hours 18 minutes. 2 hours 18 minutes, they should be into the last 10k. Sana, hello Sana, says go Camila. Sana is another really good runner on Zwift. Very fast, also capable of doing a sub-3 marathon. Bob de Boer says, the longer I look at Camila running, the more I like that cross trainer. Looks very smooth, no impact, large stride. Yes, it does give you a large stride, doesn't it? Do ignore. You can see the steps per minute says 179 up there. That's wrong. We have counted Camila's steps. It's about 150 per minute. So there's obviously some issue with transmitting of cadence from whatever device Camila is using, whether it's the Zero Runner or whether she's got some foot pod on. Not quite counting correctly. We've also been discussing Camila's heart rate over the past 2 hours. 175 is very high. Whether that's just Camila, that's how she runs, or whether there's an issue with her heart rate monitor, we don't know. But it has been changing and fluctuating. So it looks like it's reading something, and I assume she's wearing a chest strap. I don't know for sure. So we think the heart rate is reading correctly. It's just that Camila's heart rate is quite high. Remy Jarry says, my treadmill has stopped again. It must be one of those treadmills, Remy, where it stops every hour. You do an hour of running, then you have to reset the treadmill, which is very annoying. Owen Casey says, how does pace on this compare to pace outside? I honestly don't know, Owen, but I know Camilla is just as fast on Zwift as she is outdoors. Camilla's done plenty of races outdoors and posted on Facebook, so we know that Camilla is perfectly capable of fast times. Raj says, I wish I could run this fast. Yeah, it is a huge stride, isn't it? Long stride length on that Zero Runner. Again, we've been mentioning this a few times during the stream. Do go and search for a Zero Runner on Google, and you can find a lot of information about it. It's not an elliptical trainer. You know those elliptical trainers that you'll find in the gym. It's not one of those. It's not a treadmill, but it is a running machine to help with your running, but at low impact or zero impact, essentially. So go and search up Zero Runner if you'd like to find out some more information about it. If you're new to Zwift and you're wondering what's going on, this is a game, although people actually work it in real life. So they're running on their treadmills, or in this case, this Zero Runner. They're cycling on their bikes, and they have a real avatar, and the real avatar is displayed in game. People from all over the world can run, race, work out with each other in real time, live on Zwift. The yellow arrow that's next to one of the runners' names, that's Darren Smith. He is the run leader, so that's why he has a yellow beacon over his head and a yellow arrow next to his name. So he's the one who set up this event. You'll notice that the people in the event are coloured green, or their names are coloured green. And that is because this is called a meetup. So what you can do on Zwift is you can organise an event, and it doesn't have to be an official Zwift event. So Zwift organise lots of official events, but privately you can organise just a private event for you and your friends, and that's called a meetup. And so that's what Darren has done. Darren has set up this meetup, and he has invited various people to join him to run this marathon. But it was Camilla who wanted to run a sub-3 marathon on the Zero Runner. So Darren said he would help pace her. And so that is what they're doing. Raj says, what route is this? This is Ventoux. So they've run, it's a 21-kilometer route right to the top of a mountain, which is it's a version of Ventoux in France, which is a very famous Tour de France cycling route. So it's 21 kilometers up the hill, which is 1,600 meters high, so 1,600 meters climb, and then they do 21 kilometers to the top and turn around, and they are now running down the hill. They're at 30 kilometers now, so 2 kilometers to go, and then they only have 10k left. So they need to do those 2 kilometers in the next 9 minutes, 10 minutes, and they'll still be on track. But yeah, this is Ventoux, which is Zwift's version of Ventoux in France. Oh, Bob de Boer. Okay, Bob de Boer is saying her heart rate is definitely not right. He's looked at Camilla's heart rate for the last tour of Watopia, running at 14 kilometers per hour, or 14 miles per hour, or 14 kilometers per hour. Anyway, she had a heart rate of around 140 to 145. Yeah, it does seem strange. 176 is often right up there in zone 5, and if you look at the colour behind the number, that's red, and that would also indicate that she's in zone 5. You cannot run a marathon in zone 5 of your heart rate. So I was either thinking that it's wrong, the heart rate is wrong, or the zones are wrong. Bob seems to think that perhaps the heart rate measure is incorrect. But it also depends, I guess. Is it that sometimes Camila runs on a real treadmill and other times she runs on this zero runner? And when she runs on the zero runner, perhaps her heart rate is this high. Who knows? But again, if it is, you couldn't sustain it for the full marathon for 3 hours, could you? You can't be in zone 5 for 3 hours. Owen says, I'm surprised her pace is so steady. I would have thought that on a machine like this you would fluctuate a bit more. I guess it's just experience and being able to run on that machine. The more you do it, I guess the more used to it you get, and therefore you are able to control it a bit better. But yeah, maybe. I don't have any experience of running on a zero runner, so I don't know. Raj says, do you think marathons will be back for us all this year in the UK? I would have thought by the end of the year we'll be almost back to normal, but who's to say? They are talking about a third wave that might appear after the summer. So I don't know if that will happen, or if everybody is fully vaccinated by then, whether that will stop that third wave happening, or whether variants will come in. You know, they're talking about this new India variant being somewhat resistive to vaccines. Possibly, that's just something I read. Don't take me don't quote me on that. Who knows? At the moment, right at this moment, everything is headed towards marathons and ultras and events being back on in the UK. Parkrun is supposed to start up again here in June, so in a couple of months' time. So fingers crossed, if everything goes according to plan, if people are sensible, and if the vaccine continues to bring the number of infections down, then who's to say? By July, August, September, we may be getting back to something approaching normal events going on in the UK here. Certainly different in Europe. They still have some problems in Europe, which is annoying, because I have a race in the Pyrenees in July, so I'm hoping that we are able to get out to Andorra or Spain and the Pyrenees by July to run the 100-miler that we're doing. You just don't know. We can't be sure of anything still. What we can be sure of is we are 2 hours and 11 minutes in, and Camila is at 31 kilometers with 11 kilometers to go. She is currently on course for a sub 3 hour marathon on Zwift using the zero runner. She still looks relatively relaxed. She's just got her head in the game mentally. You can see her just lifting her head up occasionally. Just a kind of a mental reset. You kind of do a deep breath. You switch off your brain, you switch it back on again, and then you focus again. Raj says, any insider news on developments for runners? I'm afraid not at the moment. Not runner specific. There are. What can I say? I don't know what I can say. I don't know anything for sure. I don't know anything for sure, but the Olympics are not far away, and the Olympics are being held in Tokyo. And it may well be that we do have something new in the next couple of months related to the Olympics. That's not runner specific. That is just Zwift as a whole. That's the best I've got for you, I'm afraid, at the moment. Raj says new maps. Well, I'll leave that to you to work out. But the Olympics is in Tokyo. .6 kilometers. Darren Smith and Dave Stone still pulling Camila along. 14.2 kilometers per hour, 4 minutes 13 per kilometer. Buenaventura, yes, I think so. He says, is she using this machine to prevent injuries? I think that's the main reason. Yes, the main reason is to stop impact. So the joints of the muscles and the bones, protecting those joints for when she does have to run outside, and when impact is much more damaging to the muscles and the joints. Amy says, I can't wait to explore new worlds. Well, fingers crossed. I'm not promising anything. And I to be honest, I know as much as you about this, but I do look regularly at lots of different Facebook pages and websites, and there are increasing rumours, let's just say. Jean says her cadence on the zero run is much slower. Yes, so I've said this a number of times already. Do ignore the cadence that you can see in the top left of the Zwift screen. It says 179, but it is not 179. It is much slower than that. Again, I encourage you to go and look up Zero Runner on Google. Just have a look at the information you can read about Zero Runners. They are not elliptical trainers, but they are also not treadmills. It's a kind of halfway between the two to replicate running and the motion of running and the effort of running without the impact of running. Speaking of the Olympics, what is the Olympic record for women in the marathon? Okay, so for many, many years, the Olympic record was 2 hours 15 by Paula Radcliffe of the UK, but that has recently been broken. I say recently, in the past couple of years. Let me just find what it is now, because I don't know. It is 2 hours 14, set in 2019 at the Chicago Marathon. So yeah, it was originally 2 hours 15 by Paula at the London Marathon, but it was broken on October the 13th, 2019 by Bridget Kosgei, 2 hours 14 minutes 4 seconds in the Chicago Marathon. Of course, there are different interpretations of what the women's marathon record should be, because Bridget Kosgei and Paula Radcliffe ran in races where they could essentially be paced by men, and there were men in the running field, and some people think that's a disadvantage. So there are records for women-only races. So the women-only record is 2 hours 17. Set by Mary Kitteney on the 23rd of April 2017. So 2 hours 17 in 2017. Well, that's interesting. At the London Marathon for women only. I didn't know there was a London Marathon for women only. That's confused me now, because I thought Paula Radcliffe did. Maybe it wasn't at the London Marathon. Maybe it was at the Chicago Marathon as well. Hold on a second. Let me look this up again now. Does anybody else know? Yes, because in the London Marathon, the women go off first, don't they? The women go off on their own, so that can essentially be called a women-only race. So maybe it wasn't the London Marathon where Paula Radcliffe beat the world record then. Here we go. Let's have a look. Marathon stood for 16 years. The marathon record of 2 hours 15:25 stood for 16 years. Yeah, and it was in London. Maybe there was a different. Maybe they went off all together then back in 2003. Maybe they all used to go off together. Thank you, Raj. Very kind of you to say so. 2 hours, 20 minutes we're coming up to, and they are past 32 kilometres. They're at 33 kilometres, 9 kilometres to do. They are on course. They just have to do 9 more kilometres in 40 minutes, and they are done. So they're doing really well. They are bang on track for a sub 3 hour marathon on the Zero Runner. Darren Smith is running on a non-motorised treadmill, so it's even harder for him. They do say it's about 30% harder to run on a non-motorised curved treadmill, like the Assault Air Runner. So that's what Darren is running on. And Dave Stone, I don't know what he's running on. I assume just a normal motorised treadmill, but I don't know. So we did start out with a few more runners, but they have now eventually dropped off the back or stopped altogether. Michelle says Camila is very fast. She is. She is a fast runner, even outdoors. We know that she's fast. Raj, interesting question. Is the Olympics going to be focused more on carbon shoes and footwear? Well, it's still a debate, isn't it? It's still a debate. But I suppose if they're legal and everyone is wearing them, then there's no advantage, is there? The only advantage is to running faster times. So if you ran a great time in a marathon without carbon-plated shoes, you could feel a bit aggrieved if somebody beats that time running in carbon shoes. But at the end of the day, technology improves. And one of the reasons that we run faster now than we did 100 years ago is simply because of technology improving our footwear, also improving our diets, nutrition and hydration, and our training methods as well. So I think there will always be debate about new technology being introduced, but it is a tide that will not abate. It won't go away. We will always get new technology, and as time goes by, that technology will infiltrate into society, for good or for bad. We just have to try and get used to it and assimilate it into our world. So carbon shoes are here to stay, and they will only get better. So I think to some degree we need to embrace that. I've got a pair of carbon-plated shoes. I will be wearing them tomorrow in my half marathon. I think the Olympics they will certainly be used. Raj says, is there a preferred carbon shoe for marathons? I don't think so. Well, no, I tell a lie actually. Yeah, there probably is. Because most people are using the Nike Vaporflies Next Percent. Some people will be using the Alpha Flies, but they haven't got the Alpha Flies don't have as good a reputation as the Vaporflies. Most people, even having tried plenty of other carbon-plated shoes like the Hoka Carbon X or the Saucony Endorphin Pros, most people are still preferring the Vaporflies from Nike. So I think that's what you will see most people wearing, the Vaporfly 2 or the original Vaporfly. Unless, of course, marathon runners, elite runners are sponsored athletes, aren't they? Most of them. So those sponsored athletes will be required to wear the shoe of their sponsor. The Pediatric Clinic says, Camilla, you are great. So thank you to everyone who's watching, by the way, on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch. You're more than welcome. This is the Zwift Run Live channel on Facebook, on YouTube rather. We're also broadcasting on the Film My Run channel on Facebook. And we're also broadcasting on the Zwift Run Live channel on Zwift, on Twitch. So Twitch, YouTube and Facebook. We are live broadcasting around the world this sub-3 marathon attempt by Camila Rosa from Brazil, one of our regular runners and well known on Zwift. She has 8 kilometers to go. Amy says, one day I'll attempt this. Fantastic. What are you going to attempt to kind of train yourself up to go for sub-3? That would be unbelievable. That's the only thing I can think of, because you're perfectly... you've run way more. You've run 4 marathons in 24 hours, so a marathon is not... A marathon would not be an achievement for you, but a marathon in under 3 hours would be one hell of an achievement. Raj says, any idea of her fueling strategy? No. I know she's got a drink there. She's got drinks there. I haven't seen her eat anything, but then again, I haven't had my eye fully on her. But she does look. You can see there's a drinks bottle in front of her on her left-hand side there, with just where the towel is. So maybe she's got... there you are. She's drinking from it now. Maybe she's got fuel in there, sugars in there, electrolytes. I don't know. I don't know what's in there. I've certainly not seen her take any solid fuel. She may be using something like Tailwind or Mountain Fuel, those kind of powders that you put in your drink, which give you carbohydrates on the go. Yeah, Buenaventura is just saying, yeah, he's seen her taking a drink. We just saw her there reaching out for the bottle. So she is drinking. We're up to 35, nearly 35 kilometers now. 7 kilometers to go. Amy says, I'm a long way off a sub-3 marathon, but hopefully I've still got plenty of years left in me to attempt it one day. Absolutely. Well, listen, now I know Paul Deering is going to find me here, but I am going to talk about it. It took me 10 years of proper training to get to sub-3 marathon stage. So, although I've been running since I was at school, I didn't start properly training until I was around 40 years old. And it's taken me 10 years to get fast enough to do a sub-3 marathon. So, you know, you've got plenty of years left, and if you're motivated enough to do the right training, then there's no reason why you can't give it a go. So coming up to 2.5 hours. So we've got half an hour left. It's basically half an hour of running to do 7 kilometers. 35.2 they're up to now. 35.2, that's exactly 7 kilometers to go in half an hour. If they're going to get in comfortably under 3 hours, they've got half an hour to do 7 kilometers. Yeah, Ace, I haven't tried one, so I think I'd have to try, before I can comment on how it feels, I'd have to go on it and see what I thought of it. Because the thing is, if you look at her heart rate, if that is her heart rate, 178, then she's working a lot harder on that machine than she would be on a treadmill. So it's difficult to know, but the thing is, though, she doesn't look like her heart rate is 178. She does look strong, doesn't she? She looks relaxed as well. So I am still a bit confused about whether her heart rate is correct or not. But if it is correct, then she's really working hard. And that would suggest to me that it is hard work on that machine. To 180 now. We're up to 180 beats per minute heart rate from Camila there. We have 28 minutes before they should finish. We're up to 36 kilometres now, 6 kilometres left to run. All still together. Dee Stone and Darren Smith, David Stone and Darren Smith pacing Camila to a sub-3 marathon on the Zero Runner. So again, I've been getting my maths wrong. Of course I have. 14.4 kilometers per hour. Yes. So they have been doing a good pace. 4:10 now per kilometer. 4 minutes 10 per kilometer. I was getting my maths the wrong way round earlier on, because I was thinking that they were going at 4:13 per kilometer, and I was thinking that was too slow. But of course, that was the wrong way round in my head. To do a sub-3 marathon, you need to go minimum of 4 minutes 16 per kilometre. And they've been going at 4 minutes 13 per kilometre, which is faster. In my head, that was slower. Why I thought that was slower in my head, I don't know. But I've only just realised that actually that 4:13 per kilometre is faster than 4:16 per kilometre. It's a wonder I ever got round my marathon in sub 3 with the maths that I've got. Ridiculous. So 2 hours 33 minutes. They have sped up 14.4 kilometers per hour. I didn't see any chat about that, so maybe they had that as a plan before for the last 10 kilometers that they would speed up, or maybe Camila has just sped it up anyway. So they are doing this. They are doing this faster now than they were. Yeah, I'm guessing that the hands on the bars they must help a bit. Yes, absolutely. Because you would be pulling back like an elliptical trainer. You would pull back on those bars, so that will take a little bit of the pressure off the legs. No matter what you think of the Zero Runner, Camila is doing amazingly well. Running at this speed to get in under 3 hours for 42 kilometers. Whether it's the same as a treadmill, well, it isn't. It isn't the same as a treadmill because the impact is different, certainly, and your cadence would be a lot higher. But it is, no matter what, a superb achievement. Yeah, good for Camila anyway. Absolutely, yeah, ace, yeah. Approaching 37 kilometers now, so the famous words "park run to go" spring to mind that we say in the UK. If ever you're in a race, and it's a marathon or an ultra distance run or something like that, or even a half marathon, I suppose. When you get to 5 kilometers to go, here in the UK we just say park run to go, because park run is a very famous run that happens every Saturday morning, or used to happen every Saturday morning. It's a 5 kilometer free event that thousands of people take part in here in the UK. Every Saturday, and it's due to return post-lockdown in June, so it's due to start up again in June this year. Simon Funnels just come on and said, I hadn't realised you were live streaming. Yeah, we've been taking the mickey out of your run, all the streams, Simon. No, we haven't. We've been complimenting you on your 12,000 miles of running on Zwift, Simon. So well done for the distance you got. I can't remember how far Simon went, but I think it was about 30k. No, was it 27 kilometers, something like that. Anyway, Simon had to pull out eventually. So as suspected, many of the runners who started with Camila have dropped back, but we still have Darren and David running with Camila, pulling her on through the last 5k here. 2 hours 37 minutes. Bob de Boer says, I wonder what speed the stride would measure on a Zero Runner. It wouldn't measure anything. It'd be like on a bike. The stride doesn't measure anything. You have to impact, I think, for it to measure. Again, having not run on a Zero Runner, I don't know that 100% for sure. But my guess is, having tried to cycle with the Stride footpod, that doesn't work. So I'm guessing that the Zero Runner
wouldn't work either. Or stride wouldn't work on a zero runner. You wouldn't get any impact, so you wouldn't be able to get the IMUs to register anything. IMUs being the internal accelerometer, magnetometer, altimeter, barometer, gyroscope, all of those tiny little units inside the stride foot pod wouldn't do anything with anything. Coming up to 37.8, 37.7, not far off 38 kilometers now. If you've got anything left at this point, this is the time to put it all on the table now, especially if you are struggling to get in under time. They're not here, they are well in time. They've got 4 kilometers to do in 20 minutes. That is very, very doable. So they are going to do this unless Camila completely collapses in the last 4k. They are going to do this. But if you are running for a sub 3 marathon with 4 kilometers to go, you need to look at your watch and say, can I speed up? Can I get anything more out of myself now for this last 4 or 5k? So here we are, 2 hours and 40 minutes on the clock, 37.9, 38 kilometers now. So it is exactly 4 kilometers in 20 minutes. And they are well under that pace, Camila over there in Brazil, Darren Smith over in the USA, Dave Stone up in Canada. So all of them across the Atlantic, all of them about 5 or 6 hours behind us here in the UK. So the time here in the UK is 12:40 p.m. So it's around 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning over the Atlantic. So they've all got up very early to do this run. If you've got any questions, by the way, do fire them into the chat. I'm watching Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. So if you are watching on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're watching on Facebook, you have any questions, we're not far off the end of the stream now. So another 20 minutes, and we'll be finished. So if you have a burning question, if you are new to Zwift, if you're wondering what on earth's going on, do fire a question into the chat. I have plenty of time. I can look at it, and if I can give you an answer, I will. Ace Ventura says, good luck tomorrow, Stephen. Thank you very much. So if you are interested, I know we're concentrating on Camila today, but tomorrow morning I will be running a half marathon, going for a PB. So my current PB is 1 hour, 25 minutes and 40 seconds. So tomorrow I'm going to I want to try and get under 1 hour 25 if I can. No guarantees, but I think I'm fit enough to do it, so we'll give it a go tomorrow. I am going to try and live stream from the event. So keep your eyes on the Film My Run YouTube channel. So if you're watching on YouTube, not the Zwift Run Live YouTube channel, but the Film My Run YouTube channel and the Film My Run Facebook page, I will be streaming, hopefully, if I can get a signal, I will be streaming live from the Goodwood Motor Racing Circuit tomorrow morning, and we'll capture a lot of the runners on the course. Obviously, I won't be carrying the camera around with me, so you'll only see me every lap. If you keep your eye out, you'll be able to see me run past every lap. There are I think there are 5 laps in all, so you can watch and cheer on the other runners. There are lots of events going on tomorrow: a full marathon, half marathon, 10k and 5k events, and I think there's also a 20-mile race as well happening tomorrow morning from Goodwood Motor Racing Circuit, organised by Run Through Events. So I will be there tomorrow morning, and I will try and live stream the whole thing. "39 kilometers done now. 15 minutes to go to get in under 3 hours. They are well on course for it. Camila is looking okay, I think. Head down a bit there. Maybe she's reading something on her screen. Thank you, Ace. Ace is going to watch tomorrow. There, head up again now for Camila. You look closely, there really is a look of concentration on her face. Trying to get in under 3 hours and make sure that she stays upright, stays alert, stays on pace, and finishes the job. Dave Stone is putting a bit of a spurt on. He's 10 seconds ahead of Camila at the moment, so he's dragging them in. Darren Smith is staying a bit closer to Camila, pulling her along. Oh, look, we've got 3 Indian cyclists. There's a little Indian cycling team just behind. Espresso Express. Susie says, yes, she's concentrating 100%. Absolutely, you can see it in her eyes. She says, Camila is driven and focused. Absolutely, that's what you see in her face, isn't it? Stephen Smith says, well done, Camila and all. We are getting close now. We've been quite lucky with the quality of the stream coming from Brazil. Camila very kindly agreed to set up her phone or her laptop. I don't know what she's using exactly. We talked about it. She wasn't entirely sure, but then she decided to go for it. So she set up her device, whatever it is, and pointed it at herself on the Zero Runner. And we've had a very solid, pretty much solid connection all the way through for the full 3 hours. So that's been great. And it's really, I really enjoy seeing people's pain caves and seeing them in action. As if you do want to do that, we do a run every Friday on Zwift, the Film My Run Video 5K. If you want to come and join us, you set up your camera, your laptop or your phone, your tablet, set it up by your treadmill or whatever you're running on, if you've got a zero runner, or whatever it might be, and join our Zoom call. We have a Zoom call that's constantly active, so anyone can join at any time. As well, you do have to be admitted and let in by me, but as long as we're running an event, I can let you into the Zoom call and you can run on your treadmill and we can see you. So that's what Camila's doing now. And every Friday we do the video 5K. At the moment it's a bit later in the evening here in the UK. It's about 9, whereas it used to be 8:05. For some reason it seems to be stuck at 9:05 now. I'm going to try and get it changed. Oh, has somebody gone the wrong way? No. That's funny, I saw a runner going a different direction. Oh look, there's me up ahead. They're coming back to join me. My name is now on the screen. They're coming back to join me. Susie says, Camila sees the street outside through her window. I see the wall. Yeah, that's one thing. People's pain caves are different, and some people have a window out on the world. Other people are facing a wall. I'm facing a wall, but I do have a TV screen in front of it as well. So I am basically just looking at a big Zwift screen right in front of me. 1.5 kilometers to go. They are going to do this with time to spare. 2 hours 50 minutes, and Camila is on 40.4 kilometers at the moment. 40.4, 40.5 now. So 1.5 kilometers to go, and they're up to 14.6 kilometers per hour. So they are speeding up as they get towards the end of this run. They're speeding up. So just to let you know, Camila has tried this before on the Zero Runner and didn't quite make it. So that's why she's trying again. And this time she's going to do it. She is definitely doing the dang thing, Susie. Yeah. So Susie, who is commenting from Facebook, if you want to go and look at Susie's YouTube channel, she does live stream as well. Susie is called I Run Things. So if you want to go and check out Susie's YouTube channel, go do that. She's a relatively regular live streamer. Michelle says, gives a round of applause to Camila again, and the paediatric clinic who've been watching throughout. Very good, Camila. Thank you, guys. And Camila is nearing the end. She has just over 1 kilometre to go now. 40.9. She's just about to hit 41 kilometres. That'll leave her 1,200 metres left, or 1,300 metres to the end of the actual run. Because the run is set at 42.3 kilometres, just to be absolutely sure. So let's just make sure that when we get there, when we cross the line, that it is in fact 42.2, just to be absolutely sure. I know Darren's listening, so I'm sure Darren is well aware of Zwift's foibles, as it were, Zwift's funny ways. And sometimes when you cross the line, the finish line of a run in Zwift, the mileage will jump back, and you suddenly realise you've got another 200 metres left to run. So let's just keep our eyes on that. But we have about 1 kilometre left to run now. Camila is nearly there. Darren is nearly there. Dave Stone from Canada is nearly there. with a sub-3 marathon. Darren's run plenty of these now. Darren knows what he's doing. What kind of music have I got on? I can't believe nobody's told me to change the music. This is very strange. I'm going to change it. Mind you, there's not a lot of point in changing it now, is there? But there we go. We'll put that on. Why didn't nobody tell me the music was weird? I thought it was a bit strange. Everyone's concentrating far too much on Camilla's run. Camila is now on 41.4 kilometres. So we have 800 metres left to run, twice around a running track. Right, Susie says, I thought the music was on purpose. Well, it kind of... no, not really. The thing is, I have this one playlist that I generally use, but when that runs out, I've got loads of other tracks that it moves on to. But some of them, when I did a 100-mile run on Zwift a few months ago, we just had some very calming, relaxing, quiet music going on in the background because we didn't want pumping dance music going on all the time for 24 hours. So certainly through the night time, we had some quiet, calming, relaxing music. So that's all still on there, you see. But in a run like this, I don't think I want calming, relaxing, quiet music. Maybe you liked it, I don't know. Anyway. We're nearly there. 500 metres to go now. Oh, okay. So Susie says it seemed to go with Camilla's concentration. Maybe. Fair enough. Okay, I like that. Okay. Peter Barlow says, awesome, Camila and friends. You guys rock. So yeah, well done to Darren and Dave and Camilla, and also to Simon and Stephen who ran, and Remy Jarish, who ran a little bit earlier on. Well done to those guys. And we are now coming to the end. 2 hours, 56 minutes. They've got 400 metres to run, and they've got 4 minutes to do it. 100 metres a minute. That should do it. They should start to see the finish line. They should see the finish line up ahead. I won't be able to see the finish line, unfortunately. When you're fan viewing somebody, you can't see their each finish line is individual to you. So if we're fan viewing somebody, I won't be able to see their finish line, as far as I'm aware. I don't think we can. 200 metres to go. So it will be somewhere in those flags ahead there. Bob DeBoer says, you made it. Amazing. Congratulations, Camilla. Well done. So thank you, Bob. Thank you to everybody who's commented and encouraged Camilla on the way. And she is nearly there. 200 metres to go. 2 hours, 57 minutes. And they're all going to finish together. Oh, hang on a minute. We've got 3 runners there. Who else is there? Because Dave Stone is 36 seconds ahead by the looks of it. So who are the 3 runners? Is it Parquet? B Parquet from ZLDR has just done the last 2 kilometres with Camilla. She is there. She has finished. She is done. She is done. Well done, Camilla. Amazing work. Stephen Smith says, well done, Camilla. And all. Peter Barlow, Zwift long distance runners, you are amazing. Well done, Camilla. Fantastic. Let me just see. We might be able to talk to Camilla. I don't know. Hold on. Camilla, I don't know if you can hear me. Do you want to come and speak on the microphone? The Pediatric Clinic says, congratulations, Camilla, good job. Susie says she is a rock star. Munz2835 on Twitch says, well done. Just bear with me a second.
Hi, Stephen. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? How do you feel? Are you okay?
Your mic is on mute. I can hear you now. Oh, it was awesome. Garmin was 2:56:53. Yeah. I don't trust my Garmin for that, honestly. Yeah. I was pushing hard, but I was not dying. It's longer. It's very longer than outside. Like it's almost two meters long. Yeah. Yeah, I like 800, 1-800, 1-800, and 108. I have only 2 outdoors marathons, and my PB is 3:33, so I have to improve that. Yeah, I think about 3:10, 3:15 outdoors right now would be a great. It's that's 9 o'clock. I woke up at 4 a.m. Yeah, I'm in Brazil, in south of Brazil. Yeah. I am very happy. Thanks for the transmission, Stephen. It was nice. I will watch it later for sure. Have fun tomorrow. Bye.
So that's Camilla. She's finished. She's done. And the half marathon is over. Well done to her. Amazing work. And we will now finish the stream and we'll be back tomorrow morning. I will. It's not going to be a Zwift stream. I'm going to try and live stream my run from a Goodwood motor racing circuit tomorrow. And then we'll be back on Zwift on Monday. Emma Steely says, absolutely amazing. What an inspiration. Teresina Rosa, thank you so much, Stephen. You're fantastic. Camilla's mum and dad. Oh, hello. Susie was asking, what does Camilla see through the window? I should have asked her that, shouldn't I? Lindsay Davis says, absolutely brilliant. Well done. You're amazing. Amy says, what time tomorrow? Well, my race starts at 9:30 a.m. I will be hopefully live streaming from about 9 a.m. Because the marathon starts at 9 a.m. So I'll be live streaming from about 9. So fingers crossed it all works. I mean, it may not work. The last time I tried to stream from Goodwood, it didn't work. So I don't know. I've got a different idea this time, so I'm hoping it will work, but there's no guarantees. So if you don't see anything pop up on your Facebook feed or whatever, then it hasn't worked. So if it doesn't, we'll be back on. We might stream live tomorrow evening on Zwift. If not, it'll be Monday. So thanks very much, everyone, for watching. Well done to Camilla. Oh, look, there's my other camera down there. Hello. We'll see you another time. Take care, and well done again to Camilla. But we're off. See you soon. Bye-bye.